I told you that a conversation, a series of conversations, could impact your quality of life in unmeasurable proportions? Lion's Den's podcast with me, Lion's Den, is created to unchain, inspire, motivate, and put a fire under your feet that'll have you running toward those sleeping dreams and visions that's been dormant way too long. Let's have a conversation. Welcome, I'm LionMann, and I'm here today, and let me tell you, I've been a little complacent and a little thrown off in proceeding forward with the podcast, and a little discouraged because I was focused on the wrong things. And let me tell you, I'm not spiritual. I am not religious, but I'm absolutely spiritual. Okay? So I find my faith, I find my strength in my personal relationship that I have with God, not built upon what it looks like to others and what a religious organization may say. Now, I said that to say this, right? That God has laid a foundation that introduced me to Him through Christianity, okay? And I embrace that completely. However, I'm not held to the restraints and boundaries within the religious organization of the situation. So all that I say is that I say that to say that because I don't find it necessary to have to frequent a church to gain my strength. I do that with my relationship with God on a daily basis and everything that I do. But I do not exempt myself, nor will I keep myself from entering into a church. Well, over the weekend, an adversity hit me. Some information came across my path that could impact my quality of health life, and it has me a little shook. But after I went through the shook, I then remember a few things that gave me strength, right? I remember things about myself that God has placed in me that gives me strength in knowing that I'm going to be okay. Now, what to do to proceed further from that? But in that, right, it left me looking and seeking God in some different places. And I come across on Facebook a church called Crossroads. Now, it was one of two churches that I clicked liked on after I looked and seen some information concerning the church. I began to receive text messages, and the text messages were from the pastor. And so me preparing and communicating with the pastor was God's way of pulling me in and committing myself to visiting this morning. Well, when I go out and I get to the church, I find out the time it starts. If I get there, when I pull up, instantly my spirit says, I'm in the wrong place. This is not where I'm supposed to be. And I pay attention and I realize that the church that was texting me isn't the church that I had really felt drawn to visiting. But this church was a way of God committing me to visiting and pulling me out. And service was supposed to start at 10. So I go on, I pull up the other church, and when I see the other church, it's only 5 minutes away from the church that I'm at. So I go ahead and I proceed there. When I get there, I pull up, I know I'm in the place that I'm supposed to be in. However, service has already started. And when I come in right on time at a point in the message that pulled me in instantaneously. And it was this message that prompt me right now today to proceed forward and stop being concerned about the things that's of no concern to me. The message is this, right? I would get caught up and discouraged because of the numbers, seeing how many people viewed or the lack of those who did view, and how it has come off. And that's not what I got into this for. This is not what I'm doing this for. And the message was, am I in this, right, to do God's purpose, my purpose, or for numbers? I'm in this to do my purpose, whether that's to reach this one person. So you one person, I'm speaking to you right now. Right now, right? I'm speaking to you right now, one person. Because I have a lot to bring to the table to be able to share in my experience. And in my experience and adversity that have led me down so many roads and so much information that now God is telling me it's time to pour that information out to help that one person. Right? I grew up with abandonment issues, a place of not feeling like I belong or a part of, right? I grew up with an identity issue. I hung with nerds and I hung with thugs, right? I ended up in gang banging. I sold drugs. I used drugs. I womanized. Low self-esteem, right? Homelessness, right? These are places I've traveled, dealing with mental health, suicide ideology, as well as attempts throughout my life, right? Being wounded by expectations that's honestly unrealistic. So I'm qualified. I'm qualified to reach you, one person. And today I'm motivated. I'm motivated and not caring about what these numbers say and how many people view or not view or tune in or make this with. It's going to be what God said it's going to be. And that's it. That ain't my business. My business is to do my part. And my part and my purpose and what makes me feel whole and fulfilled is I know that everything that I went through, all the troubles, all the adversities, even this new adversity, right, is here for me to service and be a help to one person. No matter if that one person is a billion one persons or one person. That's what I'm here for. And I'm fully committed to this now. That hang up I had, I'm throwing and casting that to the wind, man. Casting it to the wind. That's not my business. My business is to share with that one person that needs to hear that I've been there too. These are some of the things I've done to get past that place, to improve my quality of life. These are some people, as I bring people on to the podcast, that in the roads they've traveled to get to where they at. Some may still be stuck in situations, may have found a different way, or are dealing with harm reduction, or wherever. It doesn't matter. We're here for you. But most importantly, I'm here for me. I'm here because all that I went through is for this moment, for this time, for this day, for this purpose. What I've gone through has to make sense. Just like what you've gone through, it makes sense. You just have to tap into the purpose so that you understand the sense that it makes. I realize I'm stronger than I ever thought I was. I realize that I'm never alone, no matter who's in my physical company or not, who calls me or don't call me, text me, don't text me, what companion wants to be here or not be here. It doesn't matter. I'm never alone. I realize that I'm intelligent. I realize that I have something to offer society, to my children, as I grow. So as we move forward and we begin to really, really get into this thing called Lions Den's podcast with me, LionMann, we're going to unfold, we're going to discover, rediscover, illuminate, and offer suggestions through experience, whether educated experience, whether behavioral experience, mental experience, emotional experience, that if you open your ears and listen, and if your face, if this before your face, then it's for reason why it's there. Take a moment and listen. It may be something for you to store for later information. It may be something for you to carry on to someone that you care about, that you love. Or it may be information that's a part of your purpose that can be a resource that you can network and share along the way. Let me tell you something. I can learn from anywhere. That man that's walking down the street or standing at the corner talking to the sky, that everybody pass by and say is crazy, if he's speaking out to me, I'm going to take a second and I'm going to listen. Because what he has today, in that moment, might be a message for me. If I discover that his conversation is not for me, don't make sense, then I'll walk off and bid him a good day. But he's going to get my ear. I said that to say this. If my podcast come across your streaming, stop and listen. Share it. It may be for you to pass to someone else or for yourself. Now, these are the introductory, the pilot episodes, just to get you to get to know who I am. But don't worry, the podcast will start getting into some meat. But understand today, this was meat. This is meat. It was an uncovering and a discovering for me. So you in real time get to see the process and understand that I don't come here believing I have arrived. I'm still on the journey, but I just learned how to embrace the journey. Right? And don't let the destination distract me from the experience of the journey that I'm in to get to the destination. Because there's greatness through that too. So, welcome. Let's have a conversation. And stay tuned for more of Lions Den's podcast with me, LionMann. I'm out.